Hi guys, this is 2026 and today, I'm going to show you, my podcast setup that I use. Like this, my wife's living room. This is our living room. So I'm going to show you how we set up this studio. It's just a small space, but I think you're gonna have, if you're on a budget like myself, if you just want something that works, but on a budget, you're gonna find this exciting. So I'm gonna be showing you and probably explaining some of the items that I'll be using, so that at least you get to understand why I'm using that and why and what it works and why it works as well, and how it's cheaper. So these are some tripods that I just got. Most of them I just got second hand. So I have I'll be having like three cameras that will be facing the talent. So one will be the person will be seated on this side, then the other person will be seated on this side, will be having a camera facing them, and then there will be the third camera which will be just right in front, making sure it takes everything else into the shot. So if you're on a budget like me, I believe this will help you so much. And I'm gonna put on this link most of the items that I'm using. I have a ZV. This camera is a what? ZVE10, and I'm using a Sigma lens, 16mm lens, because this is what I could get. And the other one that I have also is a ZVE10 Mark II. So this is the second version of that ZVE10. But also I'm still using this Sigma 16mm lens. So this one I'm gonna put it on this tripod. So the tripods, I just make sure they're just easy to release. So you just put it back there, you pack it on there. So each camera has its own. You're going to see this bag is where I keep all my stuff in there. Hopefully they will just be safe in there. So each camera has a dummy battery, because since I'll be recording a podcast, I don't want the battery to run out, and also I don't want the camera to get hot, because these cameras are known to get hot every time you continuous shoot, maybe for an hour, and most of my podcasts will be like maybe an hour or more. And I think before I go into all detail of all these other things, the first thing that I want to talk about is this light. So I find out this is like my main light, which is the key light. So I think for any shoot, as long as you have a good lighting, you'll find out that you can actually do a lot of things that will be nice. This I think what's the name is called Glare One, and it comes with this salt box to help maybe to soften the light a little bit. So you find out all these things. This podcast that is playing there, let me just put it and pause it on the stop, so that at least if someone wants to search and find out how we are shooting and what we are doing, you can actually go to that channel. It's called Real Life Conversations with this one guy. You'll be able to see. So then I have also these ones, they're called Raleno. So these are like also some lights that I'll be using together with this one. So this will be like a hairline color. It will just be focusing on the person seated here, and the other one will be focused on the person seated there, just to make sure it removes the shadows that will be put by this main light. So each and one of the talents that will be seated, I don't know how to call them the talents, but the talent will be my wife. Should be seated there. So she's one of the person that this light will be focusing on. So let's break down. I'll start breaking down each and every one of those items, and I will let you know how it goes from there. So this one, I just want to also add another angle, so that at least you can show what I'm doing. So each and every time you have to make sure what you are doing is also coming out very nice every time. I always want to have that glare in the background. It helps. It helps so much. Auto white balance. Yeah. I think this one is okay. It can start recording. Yeah. So let me remove, I think, this laptop here out of the way, with most of the things that I'll need to do. I'll be doing it in that space there. So the other camera will be on the other side. So let me just set it up as well, so that we get it out of the way. Like I said, I have some tripods that I got mostly from Amazon. Some I think from other local shops, and some even from the charity shops. So you just try to figure out what you want, and when you just go around, you'll probably be able to find some cheap items that you can actually use, for your shoot. Because if you try to do it expensive, like if you notice my channel, I currently don't have much subscribers, so you find out that I don't. I really need to be low on my budget, because otherwise it might get very expensive and I might not then be able to manage it. So as much as I can, I always try to find the cheapest things that I need to get each and every time. Yeah. So this camera will be somewhere around which camera is this one? Yeah, this one will be somewhere around here. Put it there. So it will be facing the talent that will be sitting over there. It's gonna be my beautiful wife. If she agrees to come to the shoot, you'll see her seated over there. So yep, you put it there. So it will just be pointing at her. It will just need to go a little bit back there, because the other camera that I'll put in the front, it will need just to cover this, like from where we are sitting upwards. Yeah. So these two, I use it to put our sound, because one thing that is very important for any podcast is the sound. So I have managed to get very, very good sound. This one I just use it when I want to test my let's finish the camera. So this is the third camera that I use. Like I told you, the other one is ZV-E10-1 and the other one ZV-E10-2. So this third camera is a ZV-1F. It's just a small camera, but it does work very well for what I need it to work. I used to use a smartphone, which is an iPhone. It was an iPhone 15 Pro Max that I have. I still use it as well, because you find out this video that is being shot right there is coming from the from the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and this one that is coming from this one is from the ZV-E10 Mark II. So you find out all these cameras that I have here, they work very well. They help me to do, or rather to get the job done. So this one is a nice tripod that I use. Very strong, very heavy as well. Even when I want to do, like, even on outdoors, this actually works very well. So I use this one for my wide shot, and the wide shot I use this one mostly because this one, the quality is not as much as these two, because it doesn't have an extended lens, and you couldn't get but someone told me that I can actually get another small lens. So hopefully when I get some funds, I'll probably get that small lens that you can just add onto this one. It's just to make sure it helps you to capture what you need. So so this one will just be here, making sure it covers me and my wife together there while we discuss what we discuss, and this one will just be covering my wife, and this one there will be covering myself. So now we want to move on to the sound. So for sound I have two. This is just my backup sound that I use, which is the DJI mini microphones, which is this one that I'm using right now, because it gives good quality sound as well. Because one thing that is important for any video shoot, like especially on a podcast, is that you have good quality sound, because people would always want to hear exactly what you are saying without having to worry about sound and everything. So if you have sound that you can actually doubt, then just know that probably people also are gonna doubt what it is that you are talking about. Yeah, so you have to make sure each and every time you make good quality sound. So yeah, just off here. Let's go. So this one is just some adapters that I just add to make sure all the things that I want can be able to get what they need. So in terms of the microphones, I use these pod mics. These are pod mics that I have. They have good quality sound. Even when I'm hearing, just listening to the production that I've made, it will just be crispy, and can't even imagine that's me speaking over there. So it's very, very important to have good quality sound for any video production. So these are pod mics, and just to top it all up, I use this RØDECaster Duo. Wow, this very nice. One day I'm gonna be just do another review for this RØDECaster Duo. So it comes with two microphones, which is just one for me, one for my wife, and some monitor speakers if you want. Then you can also put, I think, an SD card there, but I'm not using an SD card. You can also connect it to the internet if you want. You can also connect, I'm just using it for audio, so it always stays here. So I just put it down here so that at least this camera will not be able to see this, but when I'm sitting there I can actually see if my audios are moving on the way that they are supposed to do, because the last thing that you want is to spend an hour sitting there and you realize that you don't have audio, mostly because sometimes we just shoot me and my wife, because we don't have any production manager at the moment, because I told you this is a budget podcast. But sometimes my son will be there, when he's not at college, he can actually come, he'll help me out to be the one monitoring the cameras to see if everything is going on well. But other than that, it will just be me and my wife, so we'll just be looking at those red, so that's why it's important to always keep that red light showing on your camera, because it lets you know that you are recording something or you are not recording something. So once I see that light switch off, then I know something is wrong. So this one is called a dummy battery. So what this dummy battery helps is you don't have to charge your camera. So this one comes into my Sony ZV-1. I think this should be the ZV-1. Let me see. But it's a dummy battery. It doesn't run out of power. As long as my electricity is on, this will just keep running until forever. And one good thing and advantage that it brings is that your camera won't heat up quite quickly. So I can go for hours while I'm shooting, as long as my camera is connected to this little young battery here. So you just open your camera. I think this is not for this one. This is for that one. So this one helps you to make sure that you don't run out of battery, number one, and also it helps you your camera won't heat up quickly, because one sad thing about this camera that are not like in the cinema line is that they heat up quite quickly. So if you're not careful, you heat up, then you need to pause, then you need to start again. So you spend the whole day just shooting one video. The good thing about this one, they already have that slot. If you see down here, there's a slot that you can actually use. That slot will allow you to slide your your cable from the dummy battery out of the battery. Then you'll be able to actually close it nicely without having to worry about anything. So you just put this one here, you lock it in. Then this one, you then connect it to the adapter down there. So if you see it on, you can see from that side it's switched on. So it's good to go. It's ready for when you need. So this battery, I don't use it now. I'll just put it on the side. I can only use the battery when I'm out shooting with my camera, and when I'm out there in the industry doing my thing. So the other one, so this one, yes, that's the little one. So the little one is for the ZV-1F. This one that looks little. So you do the same. You connect it to power down there on the adapter. So the adapter comes here. So the camera, put it out. Take the other battery off. Yep, that battery off. Put it on the side. Then you put that dummy battery in there. You lock it in. Unfortunately for the ZV-1F, there's no slot where you can actually then close and lift up that thing. So you're just gonna do with it, just keeping it out like that. But anyway, it doesn't affect anything as long as you're not moving. So you're probably not gonna even break it as well, because it is gonna be on this position for the rest of the shoot. So there's nothing wrong that can happen to it. So the last one is the dummy battery, is for this camera, but unfortunately I cannot remove it, but it's already there. It's working, everything is fine. This for the ZV Mark II. So that's the dummy battery for that one. So I'll switch it on when I'm now shooting. I have to make sure I have this dummy battery switched on, because otherwise that camera will start overheating, and then when it starts overheating, you are in trouble. This is just the adapter for the what call this one, the RØDECaster Duo. This is for my sound. I love my sound so much, so I have to make sure every time you have to make sure your sound is doing very well. So you just plug it in. Then the next thing that you need to do is to make sure you plug in all the cables that you need for that. So this one comes with this mic cables. I don't know what they call them, but I just call them the mic cables. They're just the mic cables. I try to keep them, safe in there, because otherwise, if you're not careful, they can get damaged so easily. So you see these two cables, one mic 2. They just come straight to the RØDECaster Duo. You just punch them there on the side. You press them there on the side. So these ones then go to your microphones, which is the microphones that I have. One for me and one for my wife. So let me just put it down so that at least they don't get much, disturbing the frame that much. So you do this, you go on the other side. Okay, the other side as well. Yep. So my microphones now are set. This one, this is just one when I want to connect to the TV. It's an HDMI cable. I don't use it. So one thing that I'm gonna do as well is I already ordered. There's a RØDECaster video that is coming. I think it's Rode Video S. I think that's the smaller one. It's going for, I think, about 500. I tried to order that one, but I think it's out of stock. Hopefully, when I get that one, it will actually help me with my process, because after all this, you see, I'll have a footage from this camera, footage from that camera, footage from that camera, and sometimes footage from my iPhone, which I'll need to link up together. And currently I'm using CapCut, I'm still learning this thing. So I use CapCut to edit my videos and stuff, to combine this to a multi-video. Then you have those angles, it's actually a complicated process. But, when I did my research, I found out that I can actually use the RØDECaster video, which is, I can just connect my cameras to this video, RØDECaster video, and I connect my audio to that one as well. Then I'll be able to switch like automatically. When my wife is speaking, it switches to my wife. When I'm speaking, it switches to me. So it helps, with that process flow. But the only disadvantage that I heard about that RØDECaster video is that it's not coming out, the output won't come out as 4K, which is something that I'm a bit worried about. But I was also told that I can then be able to switch, from my 1080p to 4K. After I've done, that output from the RØDECaster video. But anyway, we'll see when it comes. Then I'll let you know, guys, how I'm doing it. If it's not working the way I want it, probably I'm not gonna keep it. But anyway, for now, it's something that I am expecting. I already ordered it already, but it hasn't been, delivered. Said, I think it's a new product, so they're producing it or whatever. The delay that they are talking about. Because I normally know that, when actually we order something, it should come out quickly. So that's my audio for the RØDECaster. So normally what I then do, this audio comes out through this cable. So I always have my iPhone 15 Pro Max, even if I use these other cameras, this cable goes directly into my iPhone. On the iPhone C, it's a C type. And you just record good quality audio. So every time the audio that I have, if you watch my videos on real life conversation, just know the iPhone 15 Pro Max is the one recording these audios. But anyway, also for the cameras, because what you need is, when you are then doing that multi video clip, when you're combining this together, they need to communicate or to have a reference of sound. So I need also to make sure that all these three cameras, they have a way to reference the sound that is coming from whatever we are saying here. So sometimes I just connect this one. Even if I don't connect them, the sound will still be, you cannot hear it properly, but it can be able to reference it for the sake of editing. But sometimes I just want to have some backup sound, so that at least if my camera or my iPhone doesn't perform well, or something just goes wrong, I still have some backup sound. So I connect also my cameras, to the RØDECaster using this what call it, jack to jack, 3.5 millimeter, I think, jack to jack to this other camera. And this one also, so this one I just connected back from where the headphones or the speakers come out from. That's when I just connect those ones. And this one I just connected also from where I normally use, like when I'm just checking my audio, if it's coming out nice, I have also just a cable that I use. So this one will then just go to my other camera, normally the camera that will just be here. So that will be the setup. So I think guys, let me know how you find this setup on a budget. I think it works, because ultimately what we just need to have is a good quality video out there. And I believe with this setup that I have, we actually manage to get that good quality video. They need to then depend on the content that we are producing, if people like it or not. But from now, currently people love it so much, and we're getting good reviews, good views as well, just from the content that we are making with this setup. In this small space, the funny thing is we actually have a bigger space, which is in our garage. We have actually set it up very well, very nice here, but the problem is it's very cold where we are, and we haven't set up any heating system in our garage. So we find out that because of that, we can't go there and sit for an hour or more, in the garage. So that's why we moved, to our sitting area, so we can just have this space. So the TV will just be like a backup. It will just be showing this still image, which is like not too bright, so at least it will not affect whatever is happening here. The only challenge that I have sometimes is this glass table. Sometimes it can be shiny, and those metal stands, sometimes it can be shiny to the camera. So you have to make sure you adjust properly to make sure that those items won't affect the image that's coming. Mostly it affects the wide angle camera, but the ones that are like directed to this talent and the other one directed to this talent, most of the time they are always good, and everything is always coming out nice. Yeah, but other than that, I think I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is the setup that we have. And thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your views. Just let me know in the comment section if there's anything that you find interesting in this setup, or that you want to help me maybe to do better or to improve my setup. Please just hit me in the comment section. And also, if you want some of the gear that I'm using here, I've already put an affiliate link. It's from Amazon. Most of the items I bought them from Amazon, so it's an affiliate link from Amazon that you can actually check out, and then you can be able to see what items you like, and then you can purchase from there. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.